Okay. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate your time and thanks to our existing customers for joining. And for any new customers, I'm going to share a little bit about who we are at SNL. So I'm Aaron Arrata. I'm one of the sales consultants at SNL International. We're a technology consulting and services company, and we're based out of Arcadia. We've been around for 27 years. We have a strong presence covering mostly LA County, and Orange County. We focus on providing solutions in three main pillars, I'd say. Microsoft core infrastructure, so that's keeping your data available with disaster recovery, high availability, business continuity, replication, backups, and more. While most importantly, keeping your data secure from endpoints to the edge. Now, with today's topic, we'll dive into that data security aspect. And what really sets us apart is our team of highly trained and qualified engineers. So I'd say that they're the driving force behind our success. We like to work real closely with our clients to get in early to talk, plan, and architect your technology requirements and budgets to really understand the driving factors of your business. So we do engineering support for projects, a lot of post-project support. We also do staff augmentation. There's a lot of ways we can provide different levels of support for your team, and we're very active and responsive with our customers. This helps us provide solutions that really meet your unique needs, making that long-lasting partnership that's built on trust and reliability. So speaking of an industry-leading partnership, we're joined here today with one of our top-tier partners, Palo Alto Networks. And now we have the privilege of hearing from Ken. And Ken, go ahead. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for your time. As Aaron had mentioned, my name is Ken Alexander, and it's a pleasure to be here. I am one of the system distribution channel systems engineers supporting TD SYNNEX at Palo Alto Networks. And today I'd like to talk with you about the power of the platform and what is the term platformization, as well as what does this bring to the table for organizations, for customers, in order to better safeguard their users, resources, data, and their businesses overall. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just dim my video because I have two Great Danes who like to Zoom bomb. So let's go ahead and get started. So to begin with the platform, something to think about is that, first of all, in the past, businesses would purchase a specific product to address specific security concerns, such as VPN, data loss prevention, secure web gateway, and so on. Now, because of this approach, organizations have dramatically increased the number of point products that are utilized in their environment. Now, these point products are designed for one purpose only, and these products are not designed to communicate with other products. Now, this leads to lack of visibility, security gaps, increased cost, potential misconfigurations, just to name a few. Now, today, organizations are faced with making the difficult decision of choosing between best of breed, which introduces the issues that I just spoke of, or a platform solution, which could introduce a different set of concerns for an organization. Palo Alto Networks has addressed this question and, after careful consideration, arrived at the conclusion: why can't organizations have both? Why can't organizations have the best of breed products in a single comprehensive platform? Now, today, it is true that only a platform approach will work and beat the adversaries at their own game. With a platform approach, this will consist of three key elements. Number one, a zero trust platform. Now, this is where network security is utilized to ensure that every connection, every resource is secure. And the code to cloud platform. This is for our cloud security that ensures that every cloud application is secure, but also security operations that is powered by a real-time security engine. So through a platform approach, this will ensure from the endpoint to the cloud, to the network, to branch offices, everything in between, that there is total security, comprehensive security, and security is on at all time. Also, leveraging artificial intelligence, machine learning to detect and prevent even the latest and most sophisticated attacks that are set forth by the adversaries. Now, when considering a platform, not all platforms are created equal. And there are four key points that need to be considered for a platform solution. Number one, is the platform solution innovation led? Meaning, the organization, the company that is introducing the platform can look behind the curtain and not focus in on just today's issues, security concerns, but have the foresight to look beyond into the future of potential sophisticated attacks. Perfect example, now that the adversaries have embraced artificial intelligence, how do we combat this? Palo Alto Networks has looked at the future and has created solutions that will address these security concerns. Also, is the platform comprehensive? Meaning, is it easy to understand? Is it easily consumable? And do all the products within the platform solution, are they integrated? Meaning that each one of the products within the solution are able to gather and share, consume, as well as stitch together normalized information that will identify potential attacks that are taking place, security breaches, anything of that nature, and prevent them from taking place in point number four, real time. So these are the four key elements that should be considered before a platform or for a platform solution. Now, our next generation platforms enable cyber transformation. Palo Alto Networks frees organizations from having to make that difficult choice between the best possible security and operational simplicity. Now, with our three platforms, they are truly the best in breed and are integrated everywhere they need to be to secure the network, secure the cloud, and modernize security operations. Today's webinar, I'm going to focus upon two of our three solutions that make up our platform. Specifically, I'd like to talk with you today concerning network security as well as our cloud security. Now, you may have heard of the term ZTNA. This is a big term right now. ZTNA is everywhere. Now, with ZTNA, Zero Trust Networking Architecture, Palo Alto Networks has realized that with the introduction of ZTNA, what we like to call 1.0, ZTNA has security, has vulnerabilities. There are certain objects or certain pieces that have not been addressed that could lead to exploits, breaches, vulnerabilities, you name it. So what Palo Alto has done is introduce what we call ZTNA 2.0. Now, 2.0 addresses the limitations of ZTNA, what we like to call 1.0. Now, there are 5 key capabilities that you need to keep in mind that ZTNA 2.0 delivers. The first of which is that with ZTNA 2.0, ZTNA 2.0 applies the principles of least privilege access. Now, this is where a user and their applications are well-defined. They come together, meaning that the user and or the application will only have the necessary permissions to perform said task, number one. Number two for ZTNA 2.0 is that ZTNA 2.0 delivers continuous trust verification. This is something that is not available under ZTNA 1.0. This will not allow and ignore anymore, meaning that an object, a user, an application has been authenticated once and then it's forgotten. No. With ZTNA 2.0, with continuous trust verification, if a user behavior changes or application behavior changes or a device posture changes, there has to be continuous verification of that trust. If an entity, if an object examines elevated permissions or depletion of permissions, then the trust is broken and communications will stop. with ZTNA 2.0, point number 3, ZTNA 2.0 delivers continuous security inspection for all traffic to protect against threats, threat vectors that may be introduced by the adversaries. Continuous security inspection. And with ZTNA 2.0, fourth point, ZTNA 2.0 protects all data. And it protects that data in a consistent manner across new modern applications, including your collaboration applications, Zoom, Slack, WhatsApp, whatever the case may be. All data is protected. And the last key point with ZTNA 2.0 protects and secures all applications across the entire enterprise. So these are the 5 key capabilities that overcome the limitations of ZTNA 1.0 solutions and provides clearly a better security outcome for today's hybrid businesses. And if anyone has any questions, please, I want to encourage you to, this is to be interactive. Please feel free to ask questions. I'll be happy to go deeper or answer any questions that you may have. Now, let's take a look at the network security platform that Palo Alto Networks has introduced. Now, our customers use our network security platform to achieve zero trust. And another point that I'd like to bring up with zero trust is that with zero trust, this is not something you can purchase. This is a methodology. That's it. So you can't purchase zero trust. You have to incorporate the methodology into your networking architecture, your cloud architecture. Now, we continue at Palo Alto Networks to push beyond the industry's definition of zero trust as a one-time access control, meaning a set and forget. At Palo Alto Networks, we believe that zero trust must include continuous verification and continuous security inspection of all users, applications, as well as the data. Now, this results into the industry's leading zero trust security for users, devices, and data everywhere. Now, what you see here on the screen is that we have, if you will, our world-renowned, award-winning Palo Alto Networks hardware firewalls, but we also have our software firewalls, our cloud NGFWs, next generation firewalls, and also our containerized series, Kubernetes clusters. So our hardware firewalls, software firewalls, as well as our cloud-delivered SASE solution offers the best-in-class security and consistent user experience no matter where the user is located. And it's easy to manage security leveraging centralized management. And our centralized management is through our Strata Cloud Manager. This is a new feature that has been introduced by Palo Alto Networks beginning on April 8th. And I'll talk about this in just a moment, but with Strata Cloud Manager, this allows us to have a holistic view of our entire estate. Now, below this, we have our cloud-delivered security services. And with our cloud-delivered security services, such as advanced threat protection, advanced URL, advanced wildfire, and so on, with our cloud-delivered security services, our subscriptions, this will ensure organizations are receiving the latest up-to-date signatures to prevent the most evasive, sophisticated attacks that are released or launched by our adversaries. The updates can be incorporated onto the firewalls, cloud, physical firewalls, as well as our Kubernetes clusters in a matter of seconds, ensuring that the organization is secure, preventing the latest sophisticated cyber attacks from taking place, but also, most importantly, provides visibility of the activities that are taking place. Now, as I had mentioned just a little bit earlier, on April 8th, Palo Alto Networks released the Strata Cloud Manager Command Center. Now, this was formerly known as AIOps for Next Generation Firewalls. The reason why we introduce this is that organizations struggle to manage network security due to the increasing complexity because of numerous tools that are being used, sensors, management interfaces that have been added over time. This can lead to gaps, lack of visibilities that can lead to a security breach. It could lead to posture mismanagement. So now, through a single pane of glass, Strata Cloud Manager Command Center allows organizations to gain visibility across the entire state. This is real-time information and visibility across our next generation firewalls, as well as SASE deployments. Understand the threats that are taking place in real time. So this will provide a holistic understanding of the security as well as the health of the network, meaning the next generation firewalls, resources, utilization, and can resolve issues quickly by streamlining issue resolutions within the same interface. So there are workflows that will guide you through the entire process of identifying where a security concern is identified and what can be done or the steps that can be taken to reduce that security, to increase the security posture, but also to reduce that vulnerability. If you have not seen the Strata Cloud Manager Command Center, I just want to give you a screenshot of what the summary dashboard looks like. So if you have worked with our SASE solution or our other solutions within Palo Alto Networks with the Strata Cloud Manager, with the Strata Cloud Manager Command Center, this is the single pane of glass that allows you to view all the characteristics, the activities that are taking place across your entire network. So across the top of the screen, unfortunately, I can't show you everything, but for our next generation firewalls, it allows you to view the number of IoT devices as an example, the number of users that are being utilized, but also down below in your legend, it gives you an opportunity. And once again, color coding, green good, red bad, yellow questionable, gives you an opportunity to take a look at the activities that are taking place, the segments as an example, and based upon the summary page, this is everything across the entire real estate. As you scroll across, we would have another option called the threats dashboard. Now, the threats dashboard will provide real-time threat insights and security adoption of the Palo Alto Network solutions and effectiveness, and as well as integration workflows that will help you to remediate vulnerabilities or security concerns. Also, there's the operational health dashboard, and this is a live view of the performance of your network. And this has to do with our next generation firewalls. If there's a overutilization of processor, depletion of RAM, high utilization of bandwidth, whatever the case may be. It also provides proactive health and proactive remediation workflows. In addition, a security dashboard known as the Data Security Dashboard. And this provides a comprehensive view of all of your data and identification of high-risk data. Now, that high-risk data could be social security numbers, birth dates, personally identifiable information, copyrights, whatever the case may be. And this is integrated with incident management to prevent that sensitive information from being lost or captured by the adversaries. Now, as a future release, and this is coming very soon, we will also have the best practice dashboard. Now, for the people that have worked with Palo Alto Network Solutions, this was known as BPA's Best Practice Assessment. This is going to be incorporated into the Strata Cloud Manager Command Center. With the best practice dashboard, this provides best practice compliance checks. So this is our baseline of what Palo Alto Networks deems to be the most secure baseline and how it relates to the organization's configuration, providing suggestions as to how to further secure the enterprise. Also, with the best practice dashboard, there's a 90-day security posture trends and actionable security. So we can take a look to see if the baseline configuration that has been defined for the network for specific firewalls, whatever the case may be, if because of the introduction of new resources, users, deployments, whatever the case may be, how the environment over the course of 90 days may have skewed a little bit, meaning the security has been maybe depleted a little bit, or if it's still compliant with the baseline configuration that we deem it acceptable for our organization. I'm going to pause there for a second. Are there any questions so far? All right. If not, let's shift focus. We're going to I would like to now take you through what we call the code to cloud platform. Specifically, we are taking a look at the Palo Alto Networks Prisma SASE. Now, with our SASE solution, this is the most complete single vendor security, or sorry, the single vendor security access service edge solution, also known as SASE. Now, the reason why I want to point this out is that with our SASE solution for Prisma SASE, we have ZTNA 2.0. And once again, the 5 key points of least privileges, as well as continuous security, protect all applications, and so on, the 5 points that I brought up, this is for our private application access by our users, but also our cloud secure web gateway. Now, secure web gateway allows onboarding for internet access, our CASB solution, the enterprise browser. And with our enterprise browser, this is what this was called Talon. But with our enterprise browser solution, now organizations who allow their hybrid workforce to use their own equipment, their iPads, their non-corporate owned laptops, their phones, whatever the case would be. Now with the enterprise browsers, organizations can rest assured that users who are not using corporate sanctioned equipment will still be able to have secure browsing of resources that the users have been granted access to, but it will also ensure that the resources are secure through the browser, that data leakage policies, whatever the case may be that have been defined, will prevent data exfiltration, ensure that users will only have access to the resources they have been granted access to. Also, this will ensure that there is no injection of maybe rogue, renegade applications, viruses, Trojans, whatever the case may be, being introduced into the environment. In short, this will provide secure corporate browsing from unsanctioned resources. And we also have our SD-WAN for branch connectivity. Now, a key point that I would like to bring up, and this is one of my favorites, has to do with our autonomous digital experience management, also known as ADEM. Now, with ADEM, this takes out the guesswork for our IT support. What I mean by this is that with ADEM for digital experience management, if the user or users are utilizing their mobile devices, if they are accessing corporate resources from a laptop that may be in at their home or in a coffee shop, or maybe a branch location. In many cases, if we would receive a message, a phone call from a user stating that their experience or their application access has degraded, it's not functioning properly, it's running slow, whatever the case may be. Typically, for our home users, our hybrid workforce, the first thing we would do is, does anybody want to guess? What's the first thing if a user says, my application is running slow, or I can't log in, or whatever the case may be? What do you think? Anybody want to chime in? Not to put anybody's feet to the fire. All right. So typically, the first thing that would take place is reboot your router or reboot your workstation. That's a temporary fix because, yes, we can go ahead and break the connection, bring it back up. That may work for just a matter of a few minutes, but then the problem may exist again, once again, degrading the user experience, but also affecting productivity. With ADEM, this provides a point-to-point visibility from the user's workstation, which will be using Global Protect, all the way to the corporate infrastructure. So here, by utilizing ADEM, we could actually see if the user who is encountering poor user experience may have Netflix running in the background on their local workstation, and this is depleting their memory or overutilizing their processor. Or maybe, in fact, there is a problem with the router that requires reboot, or maybe they're too far away from their wireless router. Maybe it's the ISP. The point behind this is that this provides a graphical display of where performance issues are taking place. So this allows us to specifically identify where the problem exists and make the necessary corrections to restore the user's experience. ADEM. So this takes the guesswork and it helps us to improve the user experience, but also helps us to reduce the amount of issues that are being encountered by the user. Allows us to be proactive as opposed to reactive. So now I'd like to go ahead and take you through the code to cloud platform. Now, with our code to cloud platform,
Hey,
this is
Ken,
no, yes,
sorry to interrupt, but Michael
no,
Williams had a question. He wrote,
okay.
how granular are you getting in that display?
With the ADEM,
I believe so.
oh yeah, with ADEM, how granular do you wish to be? So I can go, and this is once again through by the resource, the object in this case, we'll say the laptop, is utilizing Global Protect. With Global Protect accessing the network, Global Protect is going to provide all the information all the way down to the user's workstation. So we could find out processor, network interface card, memory, whatever the case may be. So this we can get extremely granular. This is not only for the laptop, but also maybe the ISP in this case that is traversing from the user's wireless router or home internet across the ISP going to our organization. So we can become very granular, also very specific. As a side note, this also can help us to, if we're utilizing maybe load balancing in this case, or failover, this can also allow us the opportunity to be proactive to prevent other users from experiencing the same degradation in performance. So the short answer is we could be very, very specific, very, very granular. How granular do you wish to be? So that's a great question. I hope that answered the question. If not, please let me know. I'll be happy to dig in deeper. So if not, let's take a look at, as I mentioned, the code to cloud platform. This is identified as Prisma Cloud. Now, Prisma Cloud is Palo Alto Networks' leading platform for cloud security. And the reason for Prisma Cloud is that we have gone or gravitated beyond a firewall company. With Palo Alto Networks, we continue to protect organizations as they extend their networks into the cloud. And this is through, once again, our zero trust and cloud native solutions. And to ensure security through our zero trust and cloud native solutions, this will take place. Security will take place at every endpoint, whether it's a mobile device, or if it's on the corporate network, or if it's in the cloud. Once again, platformization, regardless of where the resources are located, where the data is located, security will always be in place. Now, I won't spend a whole lot of time on this for Prisma Cloud, but what I do want to point out in this page can be a little bit noisy, but Prisma Cloud is at the heart of Palo Alto Networks' evolution into not only a cloud security leader, but also into a DevSecOps security company. Now, what this means is that we integrate security for our developers across the build, deploy, and run environments supporting all of the popular clouds, tech stacks, whatever the case may be. So what does this mean? And there is a term known as shift left. Now, you may have heard of this term shift left, and with shift left, this consists of a set of capabilities that DevOps teams will use, and the general idea is the only way that we can move, or that developers can move from code to cloud infrastructure, as an example, is to ensure that vulnerabilities, template misconfigurations, whatever the case may be, has been checked, has been validated, and there are no errors. If there are any errors that could lead to vulnerabilities, exploits, attacks from a cloud infrastructure, as an example, during the development phase, that code will be shift left or will be sent back to the code process to investigate where the misconfigurations are so they can be rectified and move to the next phase. So to put this into motion, at the code stage, right here at the build, as we like to call it, this is where common tools are used to scan applications for vulnerabilities, so as well as secure infrastructure code for misconfigurations. So this is our basic development phase, and this is our risk prevention. So during the initial build for the cloud application, this is where scans will take place to ensure that there are no application vulnerabilities and infrastructure as a code templates are not misconfigured. Assuming that everything is proper and everything is defined and there are no misconfigurations in the code phase, now we move to the cloud infrastructure, also known as what I like to call as when you're ready to deploy. Now, you want to ensure at the cloud infrastructure phase, organizations want to ensure that their infrastructure and applications meet the risk and compliance expectations for the organization. So we want to make sure that our applications meet our compliance standards to protect against any type of vulnerabilities or potential attacks. And this is why Prisma Cloud integrates security checks into what's known as continuous delivery workflows. The whole point behind this is to prevent insecure deployments before the applications are released into the wild, meaning the cloud runtime. And at the cloud infrastructure phase, Palo Alto Networks, Prisma Cloud integrates with technologies such as like Open Policy Agent to ensure that Prisma Cloud works with all the developers' toolkits. So we have the code where we initially build the application, the cloud infrastructure. This is when we're ready to deploy to make sure that our applications and our infrastructure meets our risk and compliance expectations. When we are, for lack of a better term, ready to pull the trigger and allow this application to be available and run in the cloud at cloud runtime, or what I like to call at runtime, Prisma Cloud secures your clouds, your applications with defense in depth. Now, the point behind this is that there is a continuous monitoring of all of your public cloud resources, data, entitlements, while also protecting your applications that may reside across your virtual machine containers and Kubernetes and serverless architectures. The point being is that all of your environments are protected in a single console that unifies all of your scenarios. So once again, with ZTNA 2.0, from the code phase, checking for vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, cloud infrastructure to ensure that the applications meet your requirements. At cloud runtime, it's not a forget. There is a constant inspection that is taking place to ensure applications, regardless of where they are running, either on-prem or in the cloud, on your VMs and Kubernetes clusters, are continuously monitored and secured by Prisma Cloud. Are there any questions so far? What do you think? Trying to work everybody into a frenzy. Okay. So once again, what I'd like to bring up is I've only focused in on 2 of the 3 solutions that make up our portfolio, our platform. But what I want to point out is that, first of all, with our Palo Alto Networks platform for network security, keep this in mind. At Palo Alto Networks, with our network security, we protect the most important areas of the enterprise. And that important area is the corporate network. And this is through our next generation firewalls and secure access service edge security, as well as our VMs, Kubernetes clusters, and our CDSS, our continuous delivered security services subscriptions. And with Prisma Cloud, once again, this is our comprehensive platform to secure everything that is developed and runs in the cloud at every endpoint, mobile, corporate network, or in the cloud. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a high-level view of what Palo Alto Networks brings from the network and security cloud standpoint. And what I want to point out is that at Palo Alto Networks, we have a motto. And our motto is to protect our digital way of life and to ensure each day is safer than the day before. This is not just a motto, this is our purpose. And we will continue to ensure through innovation, through exploration, pushing the envelope to ensure that truly each day is safer than the day before. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found this to be informative. Excuse me. I hope you found this to be informative. And I look forward to any additional conversations that you may wish to have concerning our Palo Alto Network solution, our platformization approach. And keep in mind that for today's sophisticated attacks, that a true platform solution is the best way and the only way to defeat the adversaries. So, Heidi, is there anything, or Aaron, anything that you would like to share, or any comments or questions that I might be able to address?
Well, I just want to say, Ken, that was amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone else for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed the webinar and gained some more insight into what SNL International and Palo Alto Networks can do for you. And please feel free to reach out to our teams if you have any questions. Also, I believe all attendees will be getting the $30 Postmates e-gift card, and we will be sending those out shortly. Heidi, is there anything else? Ken, anything else?
I'll let ladies go first.
No, we're good. I hope everybody had a very informative time and enjoyed.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. And I'm always available. So once again, I hope you found this informative. I look forward to any additional conversations that you may have. And once again, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you, SNL International, for allowing me to participate in this webinar today.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Ken. Well, have a great day, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Thank you, everyone.